So pros and cons of quitting marijuana. I wanted to make this video because I think it's important to understand both sides of quitting marijuana, that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. This is a quitting addiction channel, so I understand that it's important to really focus on that. However, having an honest appraisal of both sides of things is going to really help when those negative things do come up and it's like, oh crap, I didn't know how to deal with this. And now because of this video, may you be prepared to face that when it comes. So the first pro is that you have a lot more free time. I know I experienced this firsthand where once I quit, I was like, holy crap, I can do so much with my day because I wasn't spending most of it smoking weed. And it was like, wow, this is kind of wild. Obviously we can laugh about it now, but when looking back, I spent hours smoking weed, and it's no wonder I didn't get anything done. It's no wonder I couldn't have relationships or hold down a career or even work towards a career besides selling weed, which didn't work out because I was smoking weed all day. So huge benefit was having a lot of free time. Con number one is that you might lose friends that you used to smoke with. And of course, I experienced this as well. I'm sure many of you have as well, where you just realize that you're not really compatible anymore with the people that you used to smoke with. Now, that's not to say, hey, I hate these guys, I'll resent them forever. No, it's we had great times, and I treasure those moments. Moving on, though, it's like we no longer were compatible because what I realized is a lot of my friends, we were only friends because we smoked weed together. Without the weed, it kind of revealed the truth of the relationship. And I still have a friend today that I used to smoke weed with. Well, a couple friends actually. And whenever we talk, we have a great conversation. It's like we picked up right where we left off. And that's a sign that they were a true friend. And I was a true friend to them because we still have this relationship, even though I'm sober and they both smoke weed still. And it's not as huge of a problem as it was for me. So it's just great to know that we can still have a relationship. So that's a con, is you might lose friends. A pro, pro number two, and this goes off this last one, is you get to make new friends. You get to start having relationships that are more based on growth and self-improvement, on any spirituality, anything that you really resonate with. And you'll find that when you quit weed, your true self and your true desires start to blossom. And I found I was really into meditation, so I met a bunch of people that would go to a meditation group together, and they were great people. They taught me a lot about spirituality. They were a lot older than me too, so I learned a lot just about how to behave maturely, I guess, because most of my friends before that were all around my age, so we were a bunch of goofballs. And these guys were obviously the people I met through the meditation center. They were a lot more grounded, and so they taught me a lot there. I meet new friends through basketball, through playing pickup hoops, and it's a hobby that I got into that I would never have had the energy or the courage or the will to try when I was smoking weed. So that's a huge pro as well, is just getting to make new friends from all over, whatever the hobby is, whatever speaks to the soul. Con number two is you don't get to smoke weed anymore. Sorry to say, this was a tough one for me too, I'm not gonna lie. Smoking weed was a lot of fun. And once you get clean from weed, obviously weed isn't going to be in one's life anymore. And that first little bit can be difficult, that first month or so, when there's like almost like a grieving process, like breaking up with an ex-lover or something. It's like there's a lot of days I remember where I had that desire, that craving to go use. And because I was on this new path, I wasn't going to go down and pick up a joint or smoke a bowl or anything. So I had to just sit with that discomfort, sit with that pain, that anxiety, etc. So that's number three. Con number three is you have to feel some feelings that you might not want to feel. And these were feelings I avoided my whole life. So once I started to face these, I realized, wow, I was suppressing a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that I had buried down deep, and that was really bubbling up to the surface to be addressed, to be looked at, to be healed, however you want to put it. I just realized that, yeah, it was time to face this stuff, or else it's going to keep controlling my life and manifesting in ways that only cause harm to myself and those around me. So I guess that goes into number three for the pros, is you get to heal some of these deeper issues. Huge pro of quitting weed is you finally get to face this stuff and look inwards and start to connect with a deeper part of yourself. There was memories I had from when I was a little kid that I completely forgot about. And once I got clean, I was able to start remembering like who I really was, like all these beautiful times I've had in my life that I thought I just had forgotten existed because I was so in such a miserable state because I was smoking so much. because I had no purpose or life path. I had no dopamine, no chemicals in my brain. So I was pretty depressed most of the time. And because of that, I didn't feel much joy. And then once I quit marijuana, I got to remember all these amazing times and kind of feel human again, feel alive, and just love life again. And of course there's been challenges and stuff, so it hasn't all been like up and up and up. However, most of the time I feel good. And it's kind of weird to say out loud because so much of my life prior to that was suffering. And so yeah, it's a huge thing you get to look forward to, is being happy, I guess. And this leads into the next one, which is obviously next pro, is that you get to be happy again. You get to feel joy again. You don't have to feel so miserable and depressed all the time. And that's how I felt a lot towards the end of my smoking marijuana days. I was pretty unhappy. I felt depression, I felt anxiety, I felt grief that I couldn't express because I had stuffed it all down. And the big pro is that I started to get to let some of this stuff go, start to feel better on a day-to-day basis because I had actual chemicals left in my brain. They weren't all used up from smoking weed. And I had a purpose, like I just said before. I had kind of a mission, I had a goal I was striving for. And as humans, we're goal-oriented creatures where we thrive under challenges, under situations where we have to expand our consciousness and push ourselves to our discomfort. And it's something I never did because I was always in my comfort zone when I was smoking weed, even though ironically I was really unhappy most of the time and pretty uncomfortable. It's kind of weird how that works, right? And as soon as I started working towards things, I realized that yeah, I have a lot to live for. Life's good. Like there's purpose now. There's meaning to it, and that's something that I did not have before. So pro number 4 is that life starts to take on a new meaning. Con number whatever one this is, and this will be the last con, and then we'll end on a pro, is that you might have to start working on other addictions. What I found is that addictions are like weeds. You pull one up, another one pops up and takes its place. You do that again, boom, there's another one. And that's kind of what I found, is that once I quit weed, once I had some time off, I realized, oh, there's a lot of other stuff that I've got to work on. Addictions to all kinds of things. I won't get into that in too much detail today. However, there was a lot of them. And if you check out some more of my videos on the channel, you'll know that there were a lot of other things I've had to work on. And so I say that it's a con because in the moment it sucks. It's like, fuck, I have to work on this thing now. Overall, it's a pro though, because obviously I've worked through these things and they're no longer an issue in my life. And at the time though, I was like, gosh dang it, I thought it was finally, I was at peace. And then, oh man, there's this other weed that just popped up. I gotta go pull that, and it's gonna take maybe a year or two or whatever. So guys, if you are dealing with addiction and you are trying to pull these weeds and it feels like another one's taking its place, I have a PDF guide that you can download for free. It's how to get sober in 2023. And so the 7 steps that are on that list apply to any addiction. It's not just like marijuana here. It can be used for really anything that you want to get better at. And it's also going to contain some habits, some lifestyle changes that are just going to help your life in so many other areas besides addiction recovery, besides getting sober. It's going to help with relationships. It's going to help with earning money, having a career, staying healthy and living longer. And that's what's cool, is that like once we can kind of set a baseline for getting healthy, staying off like unhealthy behaviors, implementing really strong habits, it's just going to blossom into every area of our life. And it's really going to set a strong foundation for when life starts to pick up again and more opportunities start to present itself. So that goes into the last and final pro here, is that stuff like life starts to happen. Like you get experiences, you get to see that like, wow, this life that I always wanted, that I thought only other people get to live, it's now available for me if I want to work on it. And so like I said, with the PDF guide, you can download that down below. Just enter your email, be sent right to your inbox, and it's going to have a lot of tips and tricks that can help you with this phase of development. So again, like I said, like after I quit marijuana for a while and got through a couple other addictions, I'm like, okay, this part of my life is kind of over. Now I kind of want to start working towards some other things. So this is a long-term goal for sure. However, overall, it's going to be it's something to get excited for, because it's like, wow, I get to maybe have a family one day. Or if I have a family, I get to, give my kids a great rest of their time with me. I don't know how you want to put it. I get to be there for them, provide for them. or maybe if kids aren't a thing, like I get to go travel, anything like that. I get to live a little bit, so that's a huge pro. And I thought about one more here, so we're gonna go with number 5 or 6 here, is that you have money, and this one applies to anybody. Not, you don't have to be like 5 years down or whatever. Right away you'll start saving money, unless maybe you have a shopping addiction or something. Most people, or you don't want to work, but if you go to work, if you start getting a job, you'll realize how much money you save a month on weed. I'm a bit of an outlier, so I'm not even gonna tell you how much I smoke, because I dealt as well. So I spent thousands on weed. It was insane. Even like getting a joint or an ounce like every couple weeks, that's what, a couple $100, $300, depending on where you are. If you're in like the Midwest or so, I'm in Wisconsin, and so weed isn't legal here, so weed's probably a little more expensive than if you would just go down to an dispensary. But still, that's a bill, and that adds up over time. So you're spending $300-$400 a month on weed. Let's times that by 12. That's $4,800 a year. That could be used for getting a new car, paying off credit card debt, etc. Like so many things you can use that money for, or just having peace of mind even. So a big pro of quitting marijuana is you get to have money. Guys, that's going to end it for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for your support, and talk to you soon. Peace.